Have you ever found yourself wondering, especially as the blessed days of Eid al-Adha approach, if I can't perform the actual Qurbani myself, can I simply donate the money to charity instead? Does that donation count as fulfilling my obligation? This question is not only practical but deeply spiritual, touching on the essence of what sacrifice truly means in Islam. Today, let's journey through the heart of this issue with full clarity, using authentic Islamic sources to uncover what Allah and His Messenger have taught us about the significance of Qurbani and the role of charity. The story of Qurbani is rooted in the monumental sacrifice of Prophet Ibrahim, who was ready to give up what he loved most in submission to Allah's command. This act was about obedience, devotion, and sharing Allah's blessings with others, as reflected beautifully in the Quran, where Allah says in Surah Al-Hajj 22:37, "Their meat will not reach Allah, nor will their blood, but what reaches Him is piety from you." This verse highlights a powerful truth. The external act of sacrifice is important, but the true essence, taqwa, consciousness of Allah and sincerity, is what truly matters. Now, when we talk about donating money to charity instead of physically performing Qurbani, it's essential to understand that the ritual of Qurbani itself is a distinct act of worship prescribed in Islam, particularly during the days of Eid al-Adha. The Prophet Muhammad clearly instructed Muslims to perform this sacrifice as an act of obedience to Allah's command and a means to share with the needy. Narrated by Jabir, the Prophet said, "Whoever has the means to perform the sacrifice but does not do so, let him not approach our place of prayer." Sunan Abi Dawud. This hadith shows the importance of Qurbani as a prescribed act for those who are financially able. However, what if someone cannot perform the actual slaughter? Here is where the distinction becomes clear. Donating money as charity, known as sadaqah or zakat, is immensely virtuous and rewarded abundantly in Islam, but it does not replace the specific act of Qurbani. The ritual sacrifice is unique because it commemorates Ibrahim's obedience, involves a physical act of giving, and brings the community together through sharing meat with family and the needy. That said, scholars and the community recognize that sincere charity, especially if done with the intention of helping others and pleasing Allah, holds immense reward and blessing. The Prophet said, "Every good deed is charity," Sahih Bukhari, and charity is a pillar of Islam. But it's important to note that the specific obligation of Qurbani is distinct from general charity. If one is financially unable or if circumstances prevent one from performing Qurbani, then charity becomes the noble alternative. The intention, niyya, behind your act matters profoundly. The Prophet said, "Actions are but by intentions," Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. So your sincere donation to feed the poor and support the needy is highly valued and rewarded. But if you are capable, the ideal is to perform the Qurbani physically or through a trusted organization that conducts the sacrifice on your behalf, ensuring that the ritual is fulfilled in accordance with Islamic teachings. Think about the companions of the Prophet who made great efforts to fulfill this command even in difficult circumstances, emphasizing the ritual's significance in uniting the Ummah and honoring Allah's commands. Yet, there's a beautiful mercy in Islam. Your intention to benefit others is never wasted. When you donate money to charity, you provide food, shelter, and hope to those in dire need, echoing the true spirit of sacrifice. The Quran praises those who spend in charity, saying in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:261, "The example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain that sprouts 7 ears. In every ear there are 100 grains." This vivid imagery reminds us that charitable acts multiply manifold in reward and impact. So, here lies a question for reflection. Can your donation, given with a pure heart and firm intention, embody the spirit of Qurbani, even if it does not replace the ritual itself? The answer is yes. It embodies the spirit of generosity and care, but it does not fulfill the specific act commanded by Allah for those who are financially able. In conclusion, donating to charity instead of performing Qurbani is a beautiful act of kindness and deeply rewarded by Allah, especially when done with sincere intention. However, it is not a substitute for the actual sacrifice when one has the means. The best approach is to perform the Qurbani as prescribed, but if unable, to give charity with the heart of a true believer who seeks to please Allah by helping those in need. May Allah accept our sacrifices, multiply our charity, and guide us to fulfill our duties with sincerity and love. If this message enlightened your heart, please like, share, and subscribe so we can continue spreading authentic Islamic knowledge that nourishes our souls and strengthens our community. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.